Copyright disclaimer. For decades, we had been socially engineered and conditioned by the media into thinking that there is a problem with population, i.e., overpopulation. A short film by Omeleto, released recently, revolves around this topic, and the plot is in a not too distant future, the world's resources can no longer sustain a growing population. Anyone over the age of 80 who isn't living with and cared for by relatives is exited to allow for new generations in a policy called the Exit Plan. The story is about an elderly woman named Martha who is 82 years old and is registered to be living with her niece named Sophie and gets visited by a government agent.
Vehicle approaching. North entrance. ID unknown. ID unknown.
Hello. This is Zeke Hyde from Future Burst. I'm here for your appointment. Miss Marlowe. Oh, hello. You must be Martha? Yeah, I have an appointment with your granddaughter, Sophie.
Oh, I'm so sorry. She's out. I'm sure she said she's rescheduled.
No, they wouldn't have sent me all this way if she had.
Oh, dear. Do you have a card? Maybe she could call you when she gets in. Do it by phone. Sorry to waste your time.
You don't mind if I do my inspection while we wait?
Oh, Sophie doesn't like it if I let strangers round the house when she's not here.
Oh, no, I'm not a stranger. I'm from the government. I'm from the government. It's just yourself and Sophie living here, right?
Yeah?
Now, your usage is very high. They can be fined for that, right?
We have our own tank.
Still, best not to waste now. You still manage to grow much out there?
Ground's too hard this time of year.
How long have you lived here?
Twice your lifetime.
Well, like thrice. Yeah. How old are you, Mother?
Don't you have that in your file?
Yes, but sometimes it's nice to get confirmation from the client.
75 years.
Your file says 82.
Well, us ladies like to knock off a few.
That's Sophie.
Yeah.
She's been well.
Yeah?
She's pushed back her last few appointments due to illness.
Oh, just a bit of bad timing, really. One of those hard-to-shift lurgies.
Wasn't sure if the isolation had got to her, maybe. Now, sometimes loved ones feel obliged just to stay on. It's the kindest thing to let them know they don't have to. Has Sophie spoken to you about your plan yet? You know, the longer you leave it to exit, the more at risk you are. I've done mine already. I'm not going to wait for my heart to give out and then piss myself and have to be fed through a tube. I can take your preferences right now if you'd like. It's no trouble.
What if I didn't choose?
Well, that all depends on Sophie. How's your memory?
How's your manners? What did they do?
With finite resources, it's important we all do our bit to make sure there's enough for the next generation.
Oh, they overstayed the welcome.
Look, I'm really sorry, but if Sophie's not back within an hour, I am going to have to call in transport for you. It's not too late to have a say in the process.
How many people have you exited, Zeke? How do they actually do it? Injection, a pill, gas? Not incinerated in some mass waste pile? Is that all you are at the end? Dispensable. Doesn't matter what you've done or what you'll miss.
And look, we all have to do our bit.
Oh, is that meant to make us feel all warm and fuzzy inside thinking of our good deed while our blood turns cold?
It's unsustainable. It's unsustainable.
No, this ideal of yours is unsustainable. I promise you, when you get here, there'll still be a young man in you begging to get out. I don't want to live forever. I just want to believe that I have a say. They've already taken our taxes, they'll take our land, but I'll be damned if they get to decide when I go. Once you've done, we'll have some tea.
We cannot hide away from human population growth because, it underlies so many of the other problems. All these things we talk about wouldn't be a problem if there was the size of population that there was 500 years ago.
Enter Georgia Guidestones.
All right, here we go. Maintain humanity under 500 million. Under 500 million. So, how many people we got to kill?
We gotta kill a lot of people.
Well, Monsanto's doing a good job. Maybe Monsanto, maybe they did this. Yeah, it's a good possibility. Who knows? But they want to
Maybe.
kill plenty of people. Here we go.
We just know that they're killing a lot of people.
Here we
That's
go.
all.
Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Okay, well, that's eugenics. So who's the head of eugenics right now, Scotty? Bill Gates? Seriously. Pretty much.
There's no eugenics anymore.
Well, I mean, okay, here we go.
Up to 80% of the population gone by 2025? Damn. Military intelligence website Deagle.com has recently indicated that an 80% population reduction is in effect over the next 2 years, and the G7 countries are near the top of the list. This, of course, is highly disturbing, and I regret to say, slightly more accurate than I'd like to admit. The G7 countries and their population reductions are the UK at 78.5%, USA at 70.2%, Germany at 65%, France at 48.1%, Italy at 30.6%, Canada at 29.7%, and Japan at 17.6%. They go on to state it is advised that people temporarily distance themselves from the UK, USA, and Germany. These governments are planning the utter destruction of their own populations, and most are complying. It's almost like a suicide cult. This is what happens when a massive war is waged upon the people and they don't even know it. This is what happens when you honor fake authorities rather than your own temple. This is what happens when you trust pharmaceutical companies before you trust nature.
The reason I got shot to pieces in 11 attempts on my life is I am a direct threat. The New World Order, the alien agenda is one and the same. The alien agenda is the complete takeover of this planet, the killing off 5, 6 to 7/8 of the world's population by the year 2029. Take the remaining human subjects as slaves. They get high off of our adrenal gland called adrenochrome.
Providing new medicines and keeping children alive, would that create more of a population problem? What we found out is that as health improves, families choose to have less children. And this effect is very, very dramatic. We find that in every country of the world, this is repeated. The population growth goes down as we improve health. So we've taken that chart that shows the global population growth, and we've actually extended it out all the way to 2100. And we can see that instead of continuing, it actually flattens out. Another way to see that is through this rate of population growth. And you can see that in the 60s, that reached a pretty high number, over 2% per year, and it's now come way, way down. Now, 11 billion people, still a lot, but the good news is that the faster we improve health, the faster family size goes down. And so we can feel great about saving those lives.
Really? How curious. How do they execute death penalty nowadays?
So, how do they work? With the one-drug method, which Georgia now uses, the sole drug, according to the state, is pentobarbital. In a clinical setting, pentobarbital is given gradually until it stops a seizure. In executions, pentobarbital causes the eyelids to close within seconds. The neurons in the brain stop firing. That then makes the chest wall stop moving, the lungs stop breathing, blood vessels to dilate, and the heart muscles to weaken until the entire cardiovascular system shuts down.
3-drug method, 1-drug method, all are done through intravenous procedure. Sounds familiar? Unlike the evil people, Yahushua have said, "For the Son of Adam did not come to destroy men's lives, but to save them."